Hello girls, I hope you're staying safe at home. To continue with the chapter Aids to Health, today we are going to discuss about the kinds of immunity. Now immunity, if you remember, I told you in the last upload that it is the resistance of your body to the onset of any disease. That is, if any germs enter your body, how will your body get rid of those germs so that you do not get sick? So there are two types of immunity. One is known as innate and the other one is known as acquired immunity. Okay, so talking about innate immunity, we are talking about your natural or native immunity. That means you are born with this immunity. It is in your genetic constitutional makeup. Okay, so it is there in your body without any external stimulation to any previous infection. Okay, so in this there are two types. One is non-specific innate immunity. That is, you can resist all the different infections in general. For examples, human beings do not suffer from the plant's highly infectious diseases or even the diseases of certain animals. Okay. And next is known as specific innate immunity, which is a natural resistance to a particular kind of germ only. Okay, only a certain type of germ, specific. Now, what happens is there are some races, that is some group of people or individuals who do not suffer from certain infectious diseases. Like, for example, human beings are immune to a highly infectious disease of dog, which is known as distemper. About 50% of all the dogs infected with distemper are killed, but human beings do not get this disease. Next is acquired immunity. The word acquired, I think you should understand, it means that you've gotten it from somewhere. So this is the resistance to a disease which an individual acquires during his lifetime. That is, once you get infected by a certain disease, you will have the antibodies or the antitoxins produced inside your body by the white blood cells, and it will remain there so that in case in future if there are any infections by the same germs or the same toxins, then your body can easily fight against it. Okay, or acquired immunity is a previous infection that is known as actively acquired immunity. So if you have an infection, now supposing you have suffered from, say, chicken pox, okay, so that time what happens, your body will have the antibodies or the antitoxins for chicken pox. So your example given is measles. So that antibody is present. So in case in future you get infected by the same disease, same germs again, those germs can easily be killed because your body will already have antibodies or antitoxins which will immediately act on the germs which enter your body. Okay, or sometimes it may also be ready-made antibodies supplied from outside, which is known as passively acquired immunity. Okay, that is, for example, supposing a person is bitten by a poisonous snake, immediately the person is taken to the hospital and given an anti-venin injection. Venom is poison, okay, and this anti-venin injection contains antibodies for the poison that were produced in the body of a horse. How, we will discuss later on. Next is actively acquired immunity. Okay, so as I already told you, this is the resistance to any disease which is developed inside the body of an individual due to a previous infection or an antigen. That is, what is antigen? It is the chemical found on the surface of the disease causing germs cell. So in your one word answer, if I give you, name the following chemical found on the surface of the disease causing germ cell, what will your answer be? Antigen. Okay, so this enters the body naturally, leading to naturally acquired active immunity. Or sometimes it is introduced into your body artificially. When you were small, you were vaccinated for various diseases. So what was injected inside your body? not any medicine, children. It is the germ which causes certain disease. If you are vaccinated for measles, what was introduced into your body? The germ, the pathogen which causes measles is actually introduced into your body, so that the white blood cell produces the antibodies or the antitoxins and stays ready in case you have an infection in the future. Okay, so next, that is artificially acquired active immunity. Okay, so in either of the cases, the lymphocytes, that is, lymphocytes are white blood cells. Okay, they react in two ways. I already told you, they either produce antibodies. Antibodies, here we are talking about the germ, a foreign body, and antibodies means which acts against these body. Okay, so they produce antibodies, they circulate freely in the blood and the lymph, and it goes and it binds to the microorganism and kills the microorganism. Or they may also produce killer cells. They carry specific receptors for foreign antigens. Now, I already told you what an antigen is. The chemical found on the surface of the disease causing germ. So these killer cells goes and they stick to the antigens and then they kill the germs. Now, the actively acquired immunities are long lasting. That is, it will last throughout your lifetime, and it is carried out through memory lymphocytes, because if you get the disease again, or if the germ which causes certain diseases enter your body, what happens? These memory lymphocytes or memory white blood cells will remember which antibodies to produce, so that that particular germ is killed. Now, next is passively acquired immunity. Okay, so this is the immunity provided to an individual not from the own body. It is not produced in the body, but from an outside source, which is in the form of ready-made antibodies. Now, again, there are two types of passively acquired immunity. One is naturally acquired passive immunity. Okay, like what happens is, here in this case, the ready-made or pre-prepared, as it is called, prepared beforehand, mother's antibodies, when you are in your mother's womb, when you are just a cluster of cells, okay, maybe that time you are known as a fetus or an embryo. Okay, so it comes into your body through the placenta. Placenta is the part inside your mother's womb which connects you to your mother through your navel. You have a navel here, right, in your tummy, in the center of your tummy. So that is the connection between you and your mother's placenta. You'll be learning more about this in the part 2 of this book. Next is artificially acquired passive immunity. Now, in this, what happens? The antibodies are produced in the blood of a horse or some other animal by injecting germs into its body. So germs are introduced into the body of a horse or some other animal, some strong animal. Okay, so once the germs enter into the body of the horse or the other animal, what happens? The blood of these animals start producing antibodies or antitoxin. Okay, so anti-serum injections are prepared from the serum, that is the liquid part of blood, which contains antibodies of these animals, and this is injected into the body of the patient. That is, remember, in the treatment of snake bite by anti-venin, or that of a diphtheria patient by anti-diphtheria injections. If you have been watching the news, you must be hearing about, in our COVID times, about the plasma therapy. That is, people who have been cured of the coronavirus, okay, their liquid part of blood is taken in. That is the plasma therapy. Okay, the plasma is taken. What does the plasma contain? Plasma contains antibodies or antitoxins which act against the coronavirus. So that can be injected or given to a person who is suffering from the coronavirus. Okay, so it works that way. Now, Haffkine's Institute in Bombay and there is another institute at Kasauli are preparing such anti-sera. Okay, So antivenin for treating snake bite is also based on the same principle. That is, the venom of a snake is introduced into the blood of a horse, and then the blood of the horse is a very strong animal, so it will not die because of the venom of the snake. It will produce antitoxins to act against the venom of the snake, antivenin. So that serum is taken out, and then it is injected into a person who is bitten by the snake. So when it is injected into the person who is bitten by the snake, the blood of the person will contain antivenin, which will act against the poison or the venom of the snake. So we will talk about here. We are taking the difference between, there is table 17.1 on the next page. So kindly, this is your first assignment for today. Write down the difference between active and passive immunity. That is table 17.1 on page number 170. Okay. Now next we move on to antibodies. So antibody, I already told you, bodies are the foreign bodies which enter our body, which is not required in our body. So which acts against it, which is produced by the white blood cells, are antibodies. So what are these? These are nothing but special chemicals found in the blood which act against the germs or their secretion. So if they are acting against the secretion, it is antitoxin. Now some of the characteristics of the antibodies are as follows. The first is, the antibodies are proteins, okay, and they belong to the class which is known as immunoglobulins. Antibodies are produced by a type of special type of lymphocytes. Lymphocytes, I told you, it is a type of white blood cell. Once it is exposed to antigen, the chemical substance found on the surface of the germs, okay, so these special lymphocytes, they concentrate on the lymph nodes and spleen, and also in the circulating blood and lymph, okay, so that whatever germs have entered or whatever poisons these germs have secreted in our bodies are made harmless or killed by these antibodies. Okay, now our body can make an unlimited variety, lots and lots and lots of different types of antibodies, because there are so many different types of pathogens, so many different types of viruses, bacteria, protozoans which enter our body continuously. So all the time we have an army of white blood cells which are keeping on producing different types of antibodies to fight against these germs which enter our body. Okay, now antibodies are specific. That means one kind of antibody will act against only one particular type of antigen only. That is, the antibody for measles will act only against measles. It cannot act against the germ which causes chickenpox or any other disease. Understood? So one type of antibody, they are specific, will act only on one type of antigen or germs. Now once it is produced in your body, antibody is very smart, you can say. It easily recognizes its particular antigen and binds to it and makes it harmless, and it is destroyed and then it is eliminated by the body. Okay, once it binds, it will become harmless and then it is thrown out from the body. Now there are some antibodies present in the blood of some people from the very birth. Such people having these particular antibodies in their blood do not suffer from those particular diseases, even if the germs gets into your body, gets into your blood system, gets into your your cells, tissues, because the antibodies are already present. So as soon as these germs enter your body, what will happen? Because it is already present when? From the very birth, means you have received it from your mother. Okay, so these antibodies will start fighting against the germs and it will make them harmless. Okay, now immunity produced by the antibodies on exposure to antigens may either be for a short period, like in the common cold, cholera. You keep on getting common cold every time the season is, changing. You get the common cold because it lasts. This immunity that is produced by the antibodies lasts only for a certain period of time. Again, it has to be remade in your body, okay, or for a longer period, that is throughout your life, as in the cases of smallpox and measles. Okay, now please, the next assignment for today is to write down this summary of our body's defense against diseases, the causing germs. Okay, and I already told you previously, so these two you will finish and submit as usual day after tomorrow. Till then, children, stay safe. God bless you.